after yesterday's video, I didn't think I'd be creating any more, to be totally honest. I thought, you know what, I'm done for a good period of time. Not forever. I don't think forever, because we all go through periods where we're struggling, we'll get stronger later. We go through ups and downs. But yeah, I did my video yesterday. If you find it down here, the version of me I hate. Lonely, analytical, and righteous. And I've watched that, I think, 2 or 3 times at this point, because I've got like OCD. I've got this thing where I watch every single one of my videos multiple times. And that's not like from an obsession with myself at all. It's nothing like that. It's just I'm always analysing everything. I'm not sure if that is sitting right. Again, it's even with things like this, you know, I can't, even if something's off, it drives me nuts. So my standards are quite high. But it's something I just recognise in general, and I just thought I'd talk about slightly here. Is I know starting videos, attacking people is not always the best way to start, but I can't help it, because if I see something, I've got to say it, and I just recognise that a majority of people just have short attention spans, and they don't support people. You know, it's just, I find it quite crazy. Like, I've dedicated a huge portion of my life selflessly, and I'll say selflessly because it has been, supporting people. In no way do I want handouts from people. That's not what I do. So when I say, oh, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that, I'm just raising an awareness, because I know other people are going to struggle for it. And even if other people are not struggling with it, I'm just that open with my life that I say, if I'm not happy, I'll say it. You don't get like grey areas with me. You never have to sort of like read between the lines. That's not what you get with me. So sometimes it's annoying because I might be too outspoken on topics, but at least you know where you stand, you know? So I find, so then when you, upon reflection, you just think like, how selfish most of society is. That a lot of people, they expect like others to be there for them, but they're never there for others. They don't invest in other people. Everything's just a very selfish existence, and that's much of society, you know. So when I'm at my lowest point, I do look around and just think, who's really interested? It's not even that. It's not even like who makes an effort. It's like who's actually interested. Because I can understand that. You go to watch a video, it's a bit negative. It's like, I can't bother to listen to that, and I get it. But at the same time, it's like, if you can't listen to someone else's story, then why should they listen to yours? And then that goes full circle. Like, when I think about it deep enough, again, like we talked, like I said in the other video about overanalyzing things. If people can't take the time to invest in some way, to be there for you, it's like, why should I spend my life being there for others? Why should I put my life on hold to try to help people out of their crisis when no one's truly there to help me out of mine? So that's interesting. Now, before I did this video, weirdly enough, I haven't even looked at the video. It's got nothing. It's no bearing on this video at all. But someone did reach out to me just as I was about to press record, which was very strange timing indeed. And that is someone that's been supporting recently. They've been very nice. They've been buying all my books, and not just they haven't. I don't think they've been doing it just to buy my books. They've been doing it because it literally, they said they've been interested for a while. They just didn't have the resources before, and that's before I started going on these rants. It's like I know they're buying the books because they know the content will help them in their life. You know, so but it's been nice that they've sort of updated me along the way. So that's been a really nice part of it. And like I said, they've just sent an email, which has no bearing on this video one way or another, because I haven't even opened the email yet. It's just I didn't want it to throw me off when I'm about to do my content. But that in itself, I think, is quite beautiful. That there are kind people out there, people that are genuinely sincere. And I do appreciate that. So if I am successful in the future, and although I'm in a real serious crisis now, I still don't doubt my future. How long is it supposed to take? You know, and it doesn't change to how miserable today is. Do you know what I mean? I'm never going to forget the low. I think that's the main part of this, is I'm never ever going to forget my lowest points, and I'm never ever going to forget who wasn't there for me when I was at my lowest. Like, genuinely wasn't there. It's like, you know the people in your life who you should be able to rely on, and they've never been there, you know, but they'll be the first to congratulate you when they can see an opportunity. And it's like, I'm not an idiot. The only person in my life, apart from like who said person I've just mentioned in a, who has reached out there, but actually in my physical life, the only person that's been there for me is my mum. Like, she's 100%, she's incredible. I don't want to keep putting a burden on her though, so she's helped me a lot in my life when I've desperately needed it. But it's like reached the point where it's that reliance you can't always rely on. You know, it's not fair for her. But even today, for instance, because she, you know, she could tell I was different. She goes, she sounded like a bit down. She tried to laugh it off, you know, because, you know, you try and do that just to try and change the angle. I said, I'm not joking. I said, I've had enough. And I explained it all. And I think she knew that I'm not messing when I say that. I said, there's just no point to any of it. Like, I just give up. I can't be bothered anymore. You know. So she said, just come and stay for a bit. She's 100 miles away. I'm not going. I said, I'm not coming all the way down there. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's not going to solve. It's not magically going to solve all the other issues in your life. It's nice that that support's there and the opportunities to spend time with people, but it's not about just spending time with people. It's about like life moving forward. Like having the career that you dream of, you've invested your time into building towards, and it's about having like a romance, a love that's actually there to last, not just for the sake of having a romance, just to clear a loneliness. It's like I date to marry, if you like, and it's a lot of pressure, I guess. And because I'm so direct and I'm so outspoken, like I say it, it probably scares the shit out of people because there is a lot of pressure, isn't it? But I'm not someone that would be interested in just like, let's see how it goes sort of shit. It's like, I haven't got time to waste with things like that, to be totally honest. I couldn't waste 6 months with someone and it's like, oh, if you're just constantly doing that, I just feel like you're getting nowhere fast, like quicksand. Anyway, I don't want to digress too far. But anyway, so yeah, there are things happening, of course. Literally had an opportunity finally. I've been waiting about a year now for this. It's been going off and on for ages with the appointments just getting cancelled and all sorts. But I finally got physiotherapy for Monday for my back. And I've been waiting ages for that. Now I live in Peterborough, and they said there's a real backlog at the moment, and it won't be till like later June. But they have an initial appointment in Wisbech, which is about, I don't know exact numbers. Let's say it's about 40 minutes. Maybe let's say a 40-minute drive or something. I can't remember. I'm not saying specifically 40 minutes, but around about that. It's quite a bit of a trek. And bear in mind my petrol. So I've just put like literally before that phone call, I just put £20 petrol in the car just to get me to appointments. If there's interviews come up or any appointments come up, I just need to be able to get about. So when they said that, I thought, that's going to drain the shit out of it. That's going to be a hit. That. But I said, is that all you got? She said, yeah. I go, well, I need it done, so you would have to just do it. But if I do Wisbech, can I go Peterborough after? Like, I don't want to be stuck going that far. And she said, wait a minute. And magically, and I don't know if that's the universe, I don't want to sort of like put things out there, this magic, but it was just strange because she literally had nothing, and it's on one appointment in Wisbech. And then she said, I've got an appointment for Peterborough on Monday, a specific time, of course, a bit later. I said, yeah, I'll take that. Because it just gets the ball rolling, Like I just want to know one way or another the extent of my back. If it's muscular, I can and I can strengthen it, and it's like then you can push it, can't you? If it's potential arthritis or other complications, then of course it's dangerous to push it. That's really where we want to get to. So just let me know what the hell am I dealing with. But anyway, that's progress, I guess, knowing that that's moving forward. But yeah. Like I'm transparent. I'm too transparent. My finances right now are absolutely jokeable. I had about, I think, 50 quid left, and that was it. £20 went on petrol. I've got 15 left. And I've been too reclusive lately, so I've like, you're gonna have to go out. You can't just stay in. It's driving you mad, mate. And there's a game I wanted. Now I know finances are tight, but sometimes we just want something nice, and our head's gonna explode. So I thought I don't even care at this point, So I was looking at the PlayStation. You can get this PlayStation online service. It's £10 a month. I don't really need to play online. And you get access to games, for instance. I don't really need the games. I've already owned games. And once you stop paying the service, you lose access to the games. But there's one I wanted, and it's one, because I've had all the generations of consoles, and I remember. So this is me digressing a little bit, but I just want to show a little bit. So I literally spent 15 quid today on games. And couldn't really afford it, but I thought I'm going out. I'm just going to get, because it's like, for me, it's better value than me just go to McDonald's, for instance, waste £15 there. I'd rather have something I want. I've been wanting to get this for ages, but I couldn't even be asked to go and get it. And it literally, one of the games was £2.50. That's the only game I went out for, but I had others in mind. And I looked on eBay, and it was like 6-7 quid. And I'm like, if you just go down there, though, you can get it. Like, I'm lucky I am where I live that there's a CEX built into the shopping centre, so you haven't got to pay parking and all that shit. You haven't got to walk around some like divey high street. It's literally all built in, so I can just pop straight in, straight out. It's easy. Lack of interaction as well. Smart. Bosh, that one. And that was Killzone, this one. It's only £2.50, but I've been wanting to get it for the past week or whatever, And I've been going, I'm going to get it. But it's part of the PlayStation service. But I was like, if you don't pay it, then you can't play it anymore. I just want to own this game. I love the Killzone service. And this is the geeky side of me. I know all the series of most games. They stopped making... This was the last one they made. Most of the others are on PS3. There's one that's on PS2 and PS3. They're both the same game. One's a HD on the PS3. Very expensive, £110. That's crazy, isn't it? That's because it's rare. So effectively, you can get Killzone 2 free on PS3 and this one. And then there's one on the PS Vita, and I think there's one on the PSP as well. Anyway, obviously different quality of game. But I remember having this on the PS4. I think it came out launched with the PS4. But you can play it on the PS5. So I was like, I want that. And I'm really annoyed that they've stopped making this franchise. But from my understanding, the people who made this game went off to make the Horizon series, Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West, and I absolutely love them too. But I really do wish they would literally give us another Killzone. But apparently the series is dead. And I find that tragic, absolutely tragic. So I am collecting these. So I got this one because I already got that one, Killzone 3. I got that one. So I do have the consoles I have. This will be going off here because the reason I'm going off is because I'm actually going to work on a little bit of gaming related stuff on my website. Just keep me fresh, really get my mind clearer a little bit, give me something to look forward to because I think hobbies are important. So I've got an Xbox 360, Xbox One X. So that's Xbox, the best of the last series. Then I've got the PS3 and the PS5 because the PS3 is an era lost. So these games they do remasters sometimes. For instance, I've got the very original The Last of Us. Now I know it's turned into a TV series, but this was my favorite. This was my favorite game when it released, and that was a good few years ago. Before the TV series, I absolutely love it, and I've got the second one, of course. Incredible. But the thing with the PS3 is a lot of the games died with the PS3. They didn't get backwards compatibility on the PS4. So if they didn't get a remaster, they're dead. And you can stream some of them via the PlayStation service, but not all of them. So, for instance, they don't really promote the Killzone series. These ones I'm aware. This one might be, I'm not sure. And there's some other series, of course. But I love the PS3, so I'm still collecting for it. So effectively, I'm going through a collecting period of my life where I'm trying to preserve history, preserve my favourite gaming franchises. Even if I have a digital content of a game, I want the disc, again, to preservation. So again, I've got in there with this. I wanted to get the next Motorstorm. So 15 quid. Effectively, this one was only £2.50, and it was the only one I was going in for. Then I was like, you know what? I need the other one to the Motorstorm series. I've got the original now. Where's the second game? This one was £3. And I'm like, yeah. Again, these are going to cost a lot more on eBay. What else did we get? These ones. That was about, I think that one was £1.50. So this is Forza Motorsport 2. Ideally, we wouldn't have the classic range. I'll get a new case in the future, a better version. But for now, I love that. And then Motorsport 3 is the other one I had on my list. I think that was maybe £2.50, if I can get that right. Oh yeah, this was the most expensive one. God of War 3. Because I just want to, I know they're going to become rarer, the God of Wars. So I was like, you know what, just grab that. Yeah, anyway, I have other Forza games. So it all started a lot of the time, my Xbox 360 as such, was because Forza Motorsport 4, you can't play on any console other than a 360. It's not backwards compatible, which also applies to the previous ones before that, 3 and 2. So I want access to them all because, of course, you're going to get different tracks, you're going to get different cars, there's a lot of nostalgia. I want to collect all the series. I want all of them. In the same way I want all of the Killzones, I want all of the Motorstorms, I want all of the God of Wars. And it makes me happy. So, yeah, I finally just went to the shop, did that, went for a nice drive. I might upload a video because it's a place I like going. It clears my head. It's just beautiful when you see the countryside, you know, and it's serene. It just makes you happy. So like I say, here's what I've got. My not sure I'm going to do this. So I've got my website here, and like finances are ridiculous now. But I think it's due, so I have to pay every month to host this website, even though most people probably don't even visit it. But realistically, it's the only way people are going to have an outlet. So if let's say a career opportunity comes or anything, it's likely to come through here because there's a contact button. So you go on the contact page, and you can actually send me a private message and all sorts of shit. But realistically, that's the only way you're going to be able to reach out to me. Most people. So yeah, I'm thinking it's really important I have that available. And it's a good way to promote, of course, if anyone does go there, you're putting everything into one area. So my last amount of money is probably going to have to go on maintaining this website because it could go down at any minute because I think it's due. The payment's due. Like I say, it costs me every month, but I can host multiple websites. So I have different domains. Domains are the names of the websites. So for instance, you can have whatever name you want, as long as no one already owns it, and you can buy that domain. It'll cost you annually as well. And then you can create a website and it'll be hosted. So this is the hosting package that puts it on the web, if you like. So as long as you own the domain, and I could do spin-off domains to this, like subdomains. So although it's stephenbradleywaters.com, for instance, I could do gaming.stephenbradleywaters.com and make a gaming channel that's a subdomain of it. And you just put a link on your website or something, or just somewhere, and you can sort of like divert it there. And you can do that for loads if you wanted to go that route. Instead, I have the actual names. So I just don't put a lot of time and effort into it, to be honest. I'm more focused on my other side of life. But I have, I don't know if it's available actually. Oh, InsidePCGaming.com I own. And that's my brand. I've got to do logos and stuff for it, to be totally honest. And I haven't updated it for a long time. It had a lot more content than that before, but I took the whole thing down at one point. I've just tried to preserve some of my old reviews, really. Whether I bother creating content there again, I don't know. Like I say, I've got to do some articles now on the games I'm collecting and things, because I'm just passionate about that. I want to preserve history a little bit there. And I might put it on my main website rather than there, although it'll be good content for that. But I'm just not committed to it. And I think sometimes distractions like this are just good for us because it allows your mind to rest a little bit. And I think that's probably what gaming is going to do for me at the moment. I think you can argue it's a waste of life to an extent. And I agree with that to an extent at times, but if you heavily obsess. But I think I need a period of recovery. Allow things to attract to rather than go chasing all the time. And I think that's part of where the problem is. It's like it's like you're digging all the time for something. Because you think the answer is to keep digging. But it'll be the answer will probably be that just something randomly happens in your life that had no bearing on your digging. You know, you could like you could work like crazy digging around the sand of a beach, for instance, thinking, I need to find it. And it's like, in the end, it's just someone enters your life and it was timing. But you'll drive yourself crazy because the harder you work, the more you feel you deserve something, you know? So it's not like an entitlement per se. It's more the fact that I've worked so hard for so long with little reward, and it's really hard to continue feeling fine about that because I'm not, and I'm really frustrated, like deeply frustrated. But my life isn't sort of governed by sort of the responses I get. Like the world can be evil, but does that mean I should be evil? The world can be unfair, but does that mean I should treat people like that, like the way they treat you? You know, that's the thing. So like, there's a period of me that's really resentful at the moment, but I'm sure at some point I'll pick myself up and I'll continue. Like where I said, I probably won't do the book at the moment. I don't want to, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just focus on enjoying myself, trying to get some recovery here. But I'm sure at some point, even if I'm not successful, the next book will come out because it's a passion of mine. It means too much not to do it. It's almost like the world can be cruel, but unless we do our best to, I think, have a positive contribution, it's not going to change. But I think it's quite special how much an impact we can have without even maybe realize. And I also think it's really important that we do speak up and share our voices, share our vulnerabilities. I think there's no point just hardening ourselves and, you know, being reserved and not saying, like, when you're having a bad day, I'm having a bad day here. You know, I think because then that could, for me personally, I just think it gives the wrong impression. If someone's struggling and they see you're strong all the time, they might feel small or not good enough because they feel their insecurities make them weak. And it's like, no, it makes you strong if you have to talk about it. It makes you strong because most people aren't strong enough to show that. Most people are fake. It makes you real, you know. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not really sure the content of this video, to be totally honest. It really just started with me thinking in general the fact that there's a lack of support in the world. Most people are happy to take but not give much. Like I say, the only thing I want from people, if for people to invest in me, the only thing I want is for them to hopefully just buy a book. You don't have to buy every book, but maybe you read one, you might follow on with others, but it'd be really nice. That's all I care about in terms of like for my success. So I check book sales often and it's like nothing, or it might sell one and then nothing. And it's like it's just long periods of like stagnation, you know. It's like, that's really where I'd feel proud. I do like to see growth with the videos, of course, with the views. These are the things that'd be nice to have. Eventually, I can monetize the channel, and that'd be really nice because, of course, you know, you just want to be able to survive. I want to be able to thrive doing what I do, and then be able to throw myself into it and just be so inspired and excited, not so down and miserable because there's so the other side of life. You know, it's like money isn't going to be the thing that nothing. No, I don't think one thing is going to be the thing that solves an issue. Like even if someone threw money at me, it's not going to make me happy. It'll solve a crisis for sure. It'll give you options, but you're still missing sort of love and things like that. But the real problem is if I had love and I don't have the money, I don't want to be a burden to someone. So there'll be like an insecurity in that sense, in the fact that I don't want to be that for someone, you know. Now I know it doesn't all come down to money, and there's obviously other sides of things. It's not about that at all, but it's almost like sometimes I think we need the culmination of things to really feel fruitful. So it'd be nice to be successful doing what I do, like genuinely I can survive. It's almost like that. I was thinking about it before. It's like I want to be thriving, not surviving. And I think you survive for so long, it just gets a bit like a crisis. And I'm probably sure that game when I'm playing that Days Gone, where you're, I'm going to do an article on that soon. I'm really excited about writing about it. I'm enjoying it, but I do think there's that apocalyptic sort of theme where they are in survival mode. They're trying to gather. You've got to gather resources. You've got to constantly try and keep this motorbike maintained and fueled up and things, because it's literally a lifeline. Without that, it's a similar with the westerns where you got the horse. It's a similar app. If you ain't got that, you're vulnerable because you've got no way to get out of there, you know. But it's quite the whole thing is dangerous, and it's like all you're doing is just trying to stay alive, and you're playing the game, you're enjoying it, but overall you're just thinking, if it's this hard just to stay alive, and there's nothing really to strive for apart from your survival, it's kind of like, what's the point of surviving? If you're just trying to delay the end, it's like, this is just boring. And it's like, what's the point? If this is the best it's going to be, and this is terrible, it's like, what is the point? I'm sure subconsciously while I'm playing, because I'm a calculating person, I'm analyze everything I get experience. I analyze the shit out of, even if I'm not trying to. My mind just does it, and I'm sure me playing that is probably part of my wow, this is terrible. But I'm enjoying the game, so I'm not really thinking that. Well, that's a great game. I was really enjoying that, to be totally honest. But games I find are quite long. Sometimes unbearably long. Sometimes I Google it and I go, how long's the game? And 40 hours. You go, bloody hell, man, that's a pushing it. Because if they're all like that, you're never going to finish anything. But I've noticed something else, a trend in myself. PlayStation games, for instance, the exclusives, I always finish them. Like, I'll go through other games and I might play them for about 10 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours. I don't always finish the games, but all the PlayStation ones I do, because their story, the narrative, and everything is incredible. They're great at what they do. So that's great. But yeah, it's like things like The Last of Us. I own so many copies of this. This is the original, of course, because it's PS3, and I think that's something to be treasured. Right now, not particularly expensive, but again, I'm getting them before they go mad. You never know. One day it could be ridiculously rare and expensive, couldn't it? So might as well grab it now. But I have that on the PS4, and I also have the remasters on the PS5, and I also have it on PC. Could argue it's not surprising you ain't got a lot of money. Overall, though, it's not actually a lot compared to other people's hobbies, and that's been over years. It's not like you've just done all that in one go. But yeah, I've been today. I don't think I've been as bad today. I've still been petulant. I've still laid in bed. I'm laying in bed just going, I just want the day. I just want to speed through the days now. I mean, that's a sad way to live, isn't it? So I have been still like that. So I'm not saying I'm healed. I'm healed or anything. I feel a bit lighter as I'm talking. I think because I found a bit of a direction to just shift my focus a little bit, I think it's going to help. But it doesn't change my circumstances. Like, I've been getting a bbit of the runaround. There's a job I applied for on a forklift, and they're just absolutely useless. I'm giving up on it. It's a joke. I've been bothering. I think from about 2 weeks ago, I applied. They reached out. I missed a call, so I tried to call them back. There was no number. It was an unknown number for some weird reason. Then they said email to set up a thing. So I emailed them back. They don't answer. Then they try phoning again randomly at a different day, and I have my phone on Do Not Disturb because I don't like the pinging and noises and shit. You get so much. You get scams, all sorts of things, don't you, from phones and shit. And I don't like all that. So obviously I keep it quiet. And then I'll always ring back if I know what the number is. And obviously if it's worth me phoning back, I don't just ring anybody back. But again, I try and ring back. I missed it by 5 minutes. Ring back straight away. Don't answer the phone. Ring back again. Don't answer the phone. It's like you're having a giggle. And then we've gone around this so many times. And it's like 2 weeks later. And then they had a place closer, so I was like, you know what? I'd rather if it's available, the position's available at the one that's nearer me, then that'd be better. Anyway, so they messaged me yesterday because I said, look, I still haven't heard back. I'm interested, but it's been going on for ages. And she said, oh, someone's going to get back to you. And I'm like, today I still haven't had anyone got back to me. But yeah, I had 2 missed calls in a week, but they're both mobile numbers, separate days, no voicemail, no text, no email. Was that them? I don't know. This is, it just drives you nuts, people. It's such a badly organised situation. I'm thinking, to be honest, I don't think I'm going to bother with it now, because who wants to work for a place that's so disorganised and shit? And I think that's been playing on my mind a bit, because money's tight. And I'm not lazy. It's just I've got to know the depth of my back problem. So I think that the physio thing is going to be really beneficial to me, because I just need to know, is it something I can push? Is it something I should be avoiding? I just need some advice here, or is it something that's going to be serious and I've got to take it serious? But again, you just want to you want to know from professionals. Like, I've been asking for the best part of a year for a freaking X-ray. My doctors did X-rays on my knees and my hands because of other conditions, but never my back, and I didn't understand that. I'm already there, and their attitude is, you're too young for there to be a problem, like something's truly serious with your back. And it's like, how can you have an age rating to this shit? You're just stupid. And it's like, so it's not through a lack of me pushing them. I just, sometimes I think you just get terrible doctors. Like, you just don't get the best opportunities. So I'm hoping this physio, because it's at the same place, weirdly enough, that did my X-ray. It's the same centre. So hopefully, if they feel there's a need, we might be able to push to get this X-ray done. I'm hopeful. I mean, I might be thinking too far forward here, but that'd be a nice thing that's gonna be nice for me, just to know one way or another. Because I just want to get on with life one way or another. I just want to know where the hell I stand. But that's the thing that's been bothering me for a long time. Anyway, hopefully this ain't been boring. I know it's been a bit all over the place, this one, isn't it? I think hopefully, obviously I don't know because I'm recording it. But if anybody saw the other one, which I'm guessing most people don't, because again, I don't think people watch stuff too much really. But if hopefully there's an energy change within it. Not saying you see me all chirpy and jumping through the roof, doing cartwheels and saying how excited I am, but hopefully there's not. Hopefully there's a little bit of growth even in a day, because I just want to get back on top. It's just too much misery at the moment. It can all change. 1 month to the next, everything can change. Of course, I think a lot of it's stemming right now from, there is loneliness, but I can handle loneliness. I think personally it's my finances, because I can deal with the lack of romance. I've dealt with it long enough. But I think when the finances just get this prolongedly difficult, it gets frustrating. It's just, I think when you've worked, I thought about it earlier. I just thought it's because you've worked so hard. And it was like, yeah, like if I'd been trying to get emotional, because it does get heavy. I think if I hadn't put the effort in that I've done all this time, and I'm struggling, I would just have myself to blame. It's fine. You'd make peace with that, because there's the potential. As soon as you raise your game, things will improve. But I've raised my game. I've worked as hard as I can. It's like, you have nothing for it in terms of like success, in terms of like having a better, decent quality of life. It's like, this is just miserable. And I think that's where the deeper frustration comes. But a good thing is, because I'm aware of it, it's something I can focus in on myself, or go internal and figure out how we're going to solve this problem. And it probably, in all honesty, it probably is going to be, don't put so much pressure on the content. Don't make that so much of your day. Take more of a step back. You can still create content sometimes if you feel an urge to, but don't make that your priority right now until things catch up with it. So maybe start to prioritize. See, I'm therapizing myself. Maybe start prioritizing a different angle of my life, such as, let's see if we can get a job established that you can actually find yourself going to reliably. And that will then give the platform where you don't have to worry so much about your finances. But it's easier said than done because of my back. This is where this physio thing is going to be a godsend for me one way or another. I just need to know. But I'm having a hard time in terms of like warehouse roles at the moment. Anyway, it's like a lot of them are toxic, and it's like I don't feel comfortable working in low vibrational places. And I can feel the energy before I even bloody walk in the door. It's weird. It's like, I think my senses are heightening, because I can tell before I even enter. I'm like, that's not going to be any good for me, and I'm going. So I'm just I just need to be somewhere where I can. There's no point me starting somewhere and I leave in a week or 2 weeks, because it's shit. I can't put myself in miserable places. So it's really going to be trying to find somewhere established. And I was hoping this other position, I think that's what it was. I saw a good opportunity with the other position, and they don't even answer you. They're just sending you around in circles. It's just very unprofessional. Anyway, I don't want to take anyone's time up any more than I have. I'm hopeful life will pick up over the next few weeks. Hopefully, as we go into June. But then it's added pressure. This is where it is though. The added pressure all the time. You know, I'm supposed to spend about 3 weeks with my daughter, end of July, August. And at this rate, we're not going to have any money for anything in July, August. You know, it's like that's terrifying to me because it's like that's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Um, Again, I'm not looking for handouts. I don't want people to feel that way. Like I'm begging for something. I don't want handouts. It's like I don't want anyone to feel they should in any way. That's not what I want. It's just I just want a fair playing field. That's all I've ever wanted. You know, it'll be just nice just to see the books getting some steady attention, and then people could decide for themselves whether the book's good enough or not, and hopefully they like what they read. Um, and hopefully it becomes a bit more uplifting. But I know these videos are miserable as shit, and I know it's not fun to watch, and that's why I don't think people have the interest in watching it. And I can understand that to a degree, but it's kind of like I think if we don't acknowledge, I think other struggles, then what happens when we're struggling? You know, you can't just expect everybody to listen, and I think that's the thing. We don't listen to each other enough, so there's a lack of growth in all our lives for the most part. I think. Anyway, don't want to keep rambling. It's just I wasn't even going to do any more videos. I genuinely, if about an hour or so ago, there'd be no chance of this video. But what I'm going to be doing now really is just taking some period now to focus on some articles I was going to write for the on my website. It just depends what website I focus on now. Do I do it on there or do I commit to working on that one? I don't know yet. But I've just got a few things to talk about on that really, and it's like I know there's probably not even anyone interested, but it's like there's my little article, and it'll be there for the whole time my website exists. That article exists, and it might help people in a year, 2 years, especially identify some game franchises and things worth salvaging. Um, yeah, maybe give some people some direction in that sense. That's fun. Anyway, I could talk a little bit before we finish. The game Days Gone, I was absolutely enamored with yesterday. I was playing it for a good few hours, more than I planned, and I've had it for a long time. But I was like, you know what? Now they've got the PS5. I'm like, I'm just gonna play on that. We're just gonna play it. I just started playing it again. Got further than I did the first time, and I thought I'm falling in love with this. If anyone's played Red Dead Redemption now, I know not everybody's gamers. Red Dead Redemption is like the Wild West, but it's so in detail. It's made by Rockstar. People make Grand Theft Auto, and they're just great at creating worlds. Like no one does it like them. This becomes a real world. Everything feels real. And I was thinking to myself, I thought Days Gone is similar level there. But then I thought what sets Red Dead apart though, because it's so great, is that they go the extra mile. They make people have conversations. They make people just do tasks and things. It literally is a living, breathing world, which is quite crazy. And that's where they just go a bit further than everybody else. But Days Gone is a bit like that, but it's set in I think it's one of the northern states in America, I think. So it's not like the Wild West near like the border of Mexico, I think like Arizona and all that stuff. I don't know exactly where it's located, but let's say it's Arizona or something. It's not that in this one. So it's different areas. This one's more forest, and you're on a motorbike rather than a horse, and it's more survival than Red Dead Redemption. So Red Dead Redemption level of survival within it, of course, but it's like the Great Plains and all that stuff, isn't it? It's the Western era, but this one's more an apocalyptic era where you've literally got these zombie things that just come out in waves, and it is crazy. At night time, it gets mental. There's loads of them, and you can barely see. You've got this torch, you've got the headlights to your bike, and you're thinking, shit, better deal with these during the day. At least I can manage it. So it's just managing chaos to an extent, but you're doing a lot of travel back and forth. You've got to deal with other bikers that turn up. That's mad. You could literally be in a town. You're just trying to sort out the town. You know, you're trying to get rid of all these zombie things. You're trying to clear it out. Next thing you know, you can hear these motorbikes roaring down the road. And you're like, what the hell? Because it's just usually you. And out of nowhere, that you can, you know, if you don't get off the road and they recognise your bike or they recognise you, then they'll get off and then you've got this problem starting up. But it's just so great, and I'm losing myself to that at the moment. And I just thought I might just do a little bit of an article on my website just discussing the game a little bit because it's pretty cool. But it's a nice distraction from life, I think. Yeah. Anyway, I can throw myself too much into gaming because the problem is it's a can of worms. You buy one platform, there's a lot to collect, and then you get another platform, it's a lot to collect, and then you're thinking, where have I got time to play all this? But right now I'm on a preservation mode, so let's try and preserve everything and worry about playing them later. But yeah, there's pockets of games I'm really excited about playing. Still got to play the whole way through Red Dead Redemption again now because I've got that on Xbox 360. So yeah, anyway, I don't want to go too far gaming wise here because I could bore the shit out of people with it. But I'm looking forward to clearing that one again soon as well. Yeah, I just need to focus on finances. I think if I can sort the finances out, then I think a lot of the other pressure comes off me because I don't doubt like a romance coming in the future, but I'm sure it just happens out of nowhere. It'll be like magical, and that'd be beautiful. Because I'm a romantic at heart, even though I don't realize I'm romantic. I think I often struggle with the correct gestures sometimes, and I'm terrible with gifts. I hate gifts because the pressure that it comes under. So in that sense, you might think he doesn't care, but it's like I actually do. I just don't know what the hell to get, um, and things like that. So it's like pressure does my head in that sense. But overall, but I do like, have a romantic mind in a sense. But I'm sure that all works out when supposed to. You get frustrated, of course, because it feels like it's never ending story. But yeah, if I can just get on top of the finances, it will clear a lot. But anyway, before we wrap up there, because I'm waffling on about my gaming, I thought I might just show a little bit here. So I've got my main profile, but at the bottom here, we've got my other channels. So it's this one here is the one I made to segregate my content. It's more about gaming stuff. I don't expect people to watch them or like them. It's more for me just to preserve some of the games I'm playing or some of the experience I'm having. So I just talk about it there. I don't expect growth. It's just for me, that's my hobby. That's my little channel. Like I said, that the website I showed there, Inside PC Gaming, I had for a lot of, I was doing that a long time before my books. But again, that website I took down, I redid it again over the past couple of years. And there's my, this is my channel, Inside PC Gaming. As you can see, 6 years ago, 4 years ago. These are old, man. A lot of these even go further back than that. So it was before the books. But yeah, that had a lot of passion put into that, to be totally honest. But I let it go to build the other channel that's a lot smaller because I didn't want it to be effectively what I was trying to do was build a brand. I was trying to build the next a gaming channel effectively and have the website to it. But in the end, it wasn't a passion. In the end, it didn't go. I didn't have the commitment to it because in the end, it's the books and things. I want to help people, and I figured that was my path in the end. But it doesn't change the fact that I do enjoy gaming, and I want to talk about the things like that. So I do my physical collection here. So I like to talk about like my movie collection, my music, all sorts of stuff. It's just really just to get people realizing there's a bigger world out there beyond just Netflix, if you like. It's like you can collect stuff and preserve it. It's historical and you have control of it. And I think it's really important that we do that. Hence why I bought the game rather than did the service, because I could pay for the service this month and then next month, let's say you don't pay for it, whatever, you can't play it anymore. It doesn't make sense. I'd rather just have the disc and be able to put it in when I want. But a lot of people, they don't want to get up and put a disc in. And it's like, because you've been given the convenience too much and you're losing access to everything and the prices can go up. So for instance, I could pay £6 for this right now, or £5 or £6, and it might get rarer. So it might go up to £12 before you know it's 25. You don't know in the future. It might never do that, but it might do that. So you go, you know what? I'm just going to do the subscription service. It's £10 a month. I might as well. This only costs £6. So it's like nearly half of what your service is costing you. You could have just had this and never pay for it ever again. But because the service has hundreds of games of whatever you want to say, you're not going to play them all. You're just going to pick about 5 games out of that lot and play them probably. And then you're going to lose access if you don't pay. But you'll go, I'll just pay. But the problem is that service isn't always going to be £10 a month. Eventually it's £15, then it's £20, then it's £25. It's going to keep going up. It would be £50 a month one day. If the game values are going up, the prices in the library, then people just get used to it. But yeah, if you just paid £6 for this one, a few pound for that one, a few pound for that one, when the prices go up, you don't even have to keep paying for it. You just go and put your disc in, just like you always did. You're not part of the problem. You solved the problem well in advance. That's what I'm doing. So I'm keeping the collections, and then I'll be happy. I don't mind putting a disc in. So I'm preserving some of the older consoles. So I've got the Xbox 360 because some games only work on that. I've got the Xbox One X because it enhances the Xbox 360 games that do have backwards compatibility. It plays the Xbox One games, but again, enhances them because it's the X model. And it can stream the latest Xbox Series X games. So it's not the next generation, but it can stream them if you've got the subscriptions. But again, don't necessarily need it. And then I've got the PS5 because it can play PS4 games. Of course, it can enhance them on the PS5. All these sort of things. And they're doing remasters anyway. And then there's a whole generation on PS3 that didn't cross over to the latest generations. So PS3 has very specific games too. So I'm keeping that. I'm keeping a very good generation of gaming alive, and that makes me happy. Yeah, that actually does. Yeah, it's my little hobby. It's like if I had more money, I just want to get some more. Not spend all my money on it, of course, but there are some I still want to collect, and it's like I'm just so frustrated I can't even get them. It's like obviously I have more important things to worry about surviving at the moment. But I literally feel like I'm in The Last of Us. I literally feel that way in my life, and I think it's that level of survival that's just getting so frustrating. I think more so that I've just had so much faith and belief that things would just pick up, and it hasn't really, and you just kept thinking it's going to happen soon, it's going to happen, but then you just run out of steam. I think there you go. Look, The Last of Us. It's so cool, so cool. Like I was the way people are with the TV show, and I like the TV show. I haven't seen the second series, but I was in love with this way before the series. I was in love with this game when it released. I've completed it a good few times already on different platforms. Do you know what I mean? It's like it. I'd never finished the second one. I never got around to finishing the second one, so I do need to. I've installed it on the PS5. So when I finish Days Gone, I want to try and get through some games now rather than keep jumping from this to this to this to this to this. But I was testing out Killzone as well earlier, and I was enjoying that again. And that's underrated for sure. But yeah, it's got some good ones to get through, and a good story narrative games. And I think they're the sort of games if you had a company, you could play it, you can play it together, watch it together. I don't think games are always about like people just ignoring people and it being all socially awkward. I think you can play it together, especially when it's a story narrative game. Yeah, because I'm not even like I'm paying for TV subscriptions and stuff like my Virgin Telly because I like my sports. But even then, I'm thinking, what's the point of it all? Um, yeah. Anyway, bit ranty. Hopefully, I feel a little bit better slightly while I talk. Doesn't mean I'm going to feel better after I finished. I think I just need progress. Well, if I can have some bloody progress in my life, then you'll see my attitude change quite quick. I think I'm just at rock bottom at the moment, and it's not a nice place to be there. But I'm a fighter, so I don't stay there. But yesterday I was like really, yeah. Yesterday was a real struggle to be totally honest. Um, but yeah, the potential's there, isn't there? Potential, but sometimes potential doesn't quite get realised, and it's just tough.